See, I know a few videos ago, right, I told you that the Lord had led me to get this book by Nicholas Sparks called The Wedding. You know, I had just took my kids. I had no intention of getting a book, y'all, because the only book that I read is the Bible. That's the only, that's the only thing I've read for the last a little over 2 years, okay? And so when I went there, it was just for my kids to like just explore the library, right? Because we're new in town, and to check out some books for them. And I saw like I told you, I saw the collection of Nicholas Sparks books, and one of them was called The Wedding, right? And at first glance, when I saw it, I was like, oh, I was like, wedding, you know, because I'm on my marriage journey, right? But then immediately my flesh kicks in, because y'all know this marriage journey is hard, right? And so I was thinking about, in that split second, I was thinking about my current situation, and I was just like, no, I have no interest in reading anything about a wedding, love, none of that. But the Lord was like, no, go get the book, right? And that's the only way I can describe it. It was just like a feeling, like something was pulling me towards this book. So I got it, right? And I told you guys in a video that, and I was only on chapter 3 at the time. I finished the book now, okay? But I had told you I understood why God wanted me to read this book, because it really aligned with how I was feeling in my situation. But this is from the man's perspective, okay? So, but I could understand how his wife was feeling, because that's how I was feeling too. And I want to read y'all something really quick, okay? This is the prologue to the very beginning of the book, okay? He says, is it possible, I wonder, for a man to truly change? Or do character and habit form the immovable boundaries of our lives? Now we're going to go to the very end, the epilogue, or however you say it, right? And he says, he's talking before this, right? But he says, yet in the wake of those memories, I've come to realize that I now have the answer to the question that I've been pondering when I first came out here, right? Yes, I decided a man can truly change. And so y'all, in a nutshell, right, like they've been married for 30 years, okay? But their marriage is essentially was like two different lives under the same roof, okay? He was a lawyer. He was gone a lot. He put his work before his family, okay? They have 3 kids together. She essentially raised the kids, you know, like he missed birthdays. He missed a lot of things, y'all. And he was not very affectionate either. Like he loves his wife. He loves his wife, and he has these wonderful thoughts about her, but he just never says them, because he was raised in let me say this, okay? He was raised in an atheist family, okay? He did not believe in God. But when he met her, okay, and they started dating and stuff like that, she would like invite him to church. He didn't really want to go, but he would go because of her, right? And then like she wanted to start praying with him, and he just, you know, he just kind of would show up for her in that area. But over time, it actually changed his faith. Like he started to believe in God. But he grew up in an environment, y'all, and I touched on this in the last video that I talked about it. He grew up in an environment where love wasn't really shown, okay? And this is something that we really, and you have to ask God to soften your heart with this, because this is something that people do struggle with. They grow up in homes where love isn't showcased. So when they become adults and they come out into the world and they enter into relationships, they don't know how to show love, right? And it's not that they don't love. It's in some cases, you know, I'm not going to touch on that. But in most cases, they do love you. They just don't know how to show it, which is kind of like what his situation was. He loved his wife. He loved his family, but he thought being a provider was enough, right? Like he didn't know how to engage emotionally, like on that level with his wife. You know, he didn't know how to show her that he loved her. He just knew that he did. And he had, like I said, he had all these thoughts, because he talks about it in the book, but he would just never say them to her. And his wife was distraught. She didn't say much to him. Like he even forgot their wedding anniversary one year, right? Like she didn't say too much to him, but she cried right to herself, because like she just, you know, she felt like their marriage was essentially falling apart. It's been like this for years, you know, and so she was like deprived of that love essentially. But he changed throughout this whole entire book, y'all. And just in case if you want to read it or what have you, I'm not going to go into details, but he changed, okay? He started to show up and show out for her, right? Because he wanted her to know that he loved her, and he wanted to show it to her. So he just did so many amazing things for her just to show her that, right? And God was showing me like, and I don't know who else this situation may apply to, right? But God was showing me that like, just because you feel this way about your situation, it's not going to be like this forever, right? Like people do change. I know people come on social media, bro, especially these carnal minded, worldly minded people. And I say that with love, because I used to be like that. But people will sit there and say, oh, they can't change. You got to leave these people alone because there's no change in them. Jesus can change anybody. Jesus can change anybody. When you seek the Lord, he changes you, bro. He does things inside of you. He changes your heart. You know what I'm saying? Proverbs 21:1, and I'm paraphrasing this, but it tells you that a king's heart is like a water stream to the Lord, right? He turns it whichever way he will, okay? Yesterday, what was the verse of the day? The verse of the day yesterday, come on, Lord, Ezekiel 36:26, and I will give you a new heart, and I will put a new spirit in you. I will take out your stony, stubborn heart and give you a tender, responsive heart. These ordained marriages by God, because let me tell you something, I've said this before, not every marriage is ordained by God, but when they are ordained by God, baby, please expect a challenge. Come on, please expect a challenge. Please expect warfare, because it's going to happen. But your person, when they turn to the Lord, when they surrender to God, they are not going to be the same. They are going to be a changed man. They are going to be a changed woman. And yes, there still will be challenges, even when you get married, even when they are a changed man or a changed woman of God, because this is marriage, bro. Satan hates marriage. You know what I'm saying? And on top of the fact that these marriages are ordained by God, so they have freaking kingdom purposes, Satan's coming after them. But when Christ Christ is the foundation of your marriage, when Christ is the foundation of your relationship, no weapon formed against you may prosper, okay? And every tongue that rises up against thee in judgment shall be condemned. But for anybody that is looking at your situation with your significant other and thinking, Lord, how? Lord, why? Lord, when? Or anything like that, know that it is possible, okay? Don't look at your current situation and be like, dang, bro, like there ain't no freaking way, because yes, the freak there is. You know what I'm saying? When God's hand is on your life, when God's hand is in your marriage, baby, things change. Despite what happened in the past, despite what your current situation looks like I said, people change, things, it ain't nothing but a season. Just like the Lord tell you in his word in Ecclesiastes chapter 3, everything has a season, everything has a time. Something's being built up in you, something being pruned out of you, out of them, so on and so forth. God is always working. It might not look like it sometimes, but he's always working. And over time, you're going to see them changes. Some of them are going to be small. That's okay. We celebrate them small changes. But sometimes they're going to be big, baby. And you praise God, whether they're small or whether they're big, because God is moving.